You know, the show's come home today. Officer Show, Sergeant Sir.
He is off for a couple days. He'll be back on Friday night.
I don't know. Good morning.
Morning, Your Honor.
Al Hindman, the magistrate. Today's the date and time for an arraignment on a Michael Stone.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Mr. Stone, again, I'm Al Hindman, the magistrate. Today's the date and time set for an arraignment. Today, these are just allegations. I'm not saying you're guilty on these charges. I'm just putting you on judicial notice of the charges formally brought against you. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Give me a minute to catch up my paperwork. Who's the officer arraigning Mr. Stone?
Officer Werman.
Mr. Stone, this is a felony complaint with an alleged offense date of the 18th of January this year, 8983 Parkwood Drive. The complainant victim in this case is a Surratt Stone. The alleged is domestic violence, count 1. It's a 93-day misdemeanor, but because it has a third offense notice with prior convictions, it enhances the penalty that you could be sentenced up to 5 years in prison and fined up to $5,000. They're alleging that you did make an assault or assault and battery upon a Surratt Stone, his spouse, in violation of 750.81 paren 2. It's a misdemeanor that if you're found guilty, you could be sentenced up to 5 years in prison and fined up to $5,000. Count 2 charges you with assault, resist, obstructing a police officer. They're alleging that you did assault, batter, wound, resist, obstruct, oppose, endanger police officer M. Edge and officer Jay Short. They're police officers for Van Buren Township Police Department that the defendant knew and had reason to know was performing their duties in violation of 750.81 paren D paren 1. This is a felony that if you're found guilty on this charge, you could be sentenced up to 2 years in prison and fined up to $2,000, and you have what's called a habitual offender fourth offense notice. That you have prior convictions that go back to 2014 out of the 22nd Circuit Court for Washtenaw County. Therefore, the penalty could be up to 7 years in prison. I want to inform you that you're entitled to be represented by an attorney. If you're indigent, can't, through the help of your family or friends, secure the money to hire an attorney, the court could appoint one to represent you. You have the right to trial by a judge or jury, but above and beyond all else, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say orally and or in writing can be used against you in court. Since you don't have an attorney present today, I'm going to schedule this matter for what's called a probable cause hearing. before we get into that, I want to talk about bond. Officer, any comments on bond?
I do not have any knowledge. I do not know what the detective sent over.
Where do you live, Mr. Stone? You live at 8983 Parkwood, correct?
I have been living there, sir, but I have another residence where my father lives in Washington County, sir.
What do you do for a living?
I work as a gig worker for a construction company. He brings me on to extra help.
So you're working, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I would like to be able to go back to work to pay for my defense, sir.
This is serious charges. I want you
Yes,
to pay
sir.
close attention to detail. You cannot return to be in or around or near 8983 Parkwood. Am I clear?
Absolutely.
No contact with Secret Stone. Do you understand that?
Absolutely.
No third-party contact. You can't send a message to a family member or friend. Do you understand that?
Absolutely, sir.
You cannot have cell phone, text messaging, or any social media contact. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your probable cause hearing is going to be on the 3rd of February of this year at 11 a.m. in courtroom number 2.
Okay, sir.
By Zoom.
Okay, sir.
Your cell number is what?
734-757-7544.
Your bond is $10,000, 10%.
Sir, there's no way for a PR, sir. I'm
No.
trying to get back on my feet.
Bond is all about the safety of the public and showing up in court.
I've already.
You have a second, or no, that's it with Mr. Stone. They'll let
Do you
you
have
make
a
some
court-
phone calls, Mr. Stone.
Do you have a
Case
court
number on
doc?
Mr. The case number for Mr. Stone's 21-0028.
Okay. And that's all I have, sir.
Okay, I'm going to be going to the airport. Okay, you have a good day.
Thank you, you too.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Al Hindman, the magistrate. Today's the date and time set for an arraignment. Denzel Gibson, correct?
Yes, sir.
Today is an arraignment. It's just me putting you on judicial notice of the formal notice of the charges brought against you. Do you understand that?
Yes, I understand.
This is a felony complaint. The alleged offense dates the 18th of January this year. Blue parking deck of the North Terminal. Capri Giselle Smith is a complainant victim. Count 1 charges you with assault with intent to do great bodily harm less than the crime of murder by strangulation. They're alleging that you did make an assault upon a Capri Smith by strangulation or suffocation in violation of 750.84. This is a felony. That if you're found guilty, you could be sentenced up to 10 years in jail and fined up to $5,000 DNA to be taken upon arrest. Count 2 charges you with a 93-day misdemeanor of domestic violence. They're alleging you did make an assault or assault and battery upon a Capri Smith, an individual to whom he had a child in common. That's in violation of 750.81(2). Again, Mr. Gibson, these are just allegations today. I'm not saying you're guilty. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. If you're indigent, can't, through the help of your family or friends, secure the money to hire an attorney, the court could appoint one to represent you. You have the right to a trial before a judge or before a jury, and beyond all else, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say orally and or in writing can be used against you. Since you don't have an attorney present today, I'm entering a plea of not guilty on your behalf. I'm going to schedule this matter for what's called a probable cause hearing. We're going
Okay.
to talk about bond. Officer, any comments on bond?
Good morning, Judge. We asked 50,000, 10%. But of course, as you see fit, that's just what we put on there due to the severity of the one charge in particular. But if you think that's not appropriate, then of course.
Can I?
Hold
I
on,
say-
Mr. Gibson.
Okay.
Officer, where does Capri Smith live?
The
Or
last
do they live together?
it does not appear that they do, Your Honor.
No, we've been staying together, but we do have separate. I have my own house and she has her own house.
Well, listen close, Mr. Gibson. You cannot have any contact with Capri Smith. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do understand that.
You're to have no contact whatsoever, no third-party contact. You cannot have any contact by cell phone, text messaging, or social media. Do you understand that?
I understand that, yes.
What do you do for a living?
A truck driver.
So you're working, correct?
Yes, actually, I talked to my job today. If I can get out of here early enough, I can go to work. But like I said, with COVID, things have been a little slow. So, my income has decreased. But yes, I'm currently working.
Your bond's $5,000, 10%. It's a far cry from $50,000. With those conditions, no contact with the complainant victim. Do you understand that?
Yes, I understand that.
What is your cell number?
313-680-8853.
880-8853.
313-680-8853.
What is your email address? Very slowly.
O as in octopus, G as in giraffe, then my name Denzel, so it's OG Denzel 21@gmail.com. So it reads all together OG Denzel 21@gmail.com.
Okay, your bond at $5,000, 10%, no contact with a complainant victim. And officer, case number 21-0029, that concludes this arraignment.
Excellent. Thank you, Your Honor. Have a nice day.
I can't, request for a personal bond.
But I mean, that's if he can still hear you, but that's what he imposed.
Yes, can I request a personal bond? I'm not at.
No, I don't. Bond's not a penalty. Bond's to guarantee the safety of the public, and I find that a reasonable bond. They wanted $50,000 bond from you. They'll let you make some phone calls.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.